So, hello and welcome. This is George Rukas. I'm part of the sales engineering group in Genetec, and I'll be presenting this Secure Center 5.9 demo today. Hope everyone is doing okay. And this demo is going to be mainly focused on it's a regular Secure Center demo, like showing the unified platform, but we'll be focusing on more on new features and new improvements we've done in 5.9.0 and 5.9.1 recently. So without further ado, let me start the demo here. So the demo is going to be focused on this screen here. It's SecuriDesk, so the main client application. And we're going to be doing all the work here. So first thing I would like always to demo is to start the demo with is the login screen. So on a screen here, you see Trusted Directory, which means that you can actually make your servers more secure by installing a certificate on them. And so when you log on to it, you know that you're really logged into that server and nobody's stealing your password or something. And on top of that, there is the Active Directory integration here, which with one click here allows you to log into the system using your Windows credentials. We're trying to improve this. In 5.9.1, we did some improvements on the Active Directory side, but mainly on the cardholder synchronization stuff. We're not going to be able to demo this because of the limited resources I have, but we're going to show everything else. Okay, let me log in here with my admin user. So that's my main workspace. So I have a few cameras that I always monitor, and I have a cardholder management task always ready for me to deal with cardholders, give them cards, enroll new ones. Let me just switch to it here. Give me a second. System might be a little bit slow. Okay, there you go, the cardholder management. I got my dashboard. So the dashboard were created in 5.8. And it allows you to actually create a personalized, customized view that you put your cameras, your reports, your charts on them, and they would refresh in front of you depending on how long you set the refresh interval. And of course, you can add pictures, maps. It's your own workspace. We're gonna talk about this later also. So let's just go to the monitoring, to the main monitoring screen here, and on it, I always like to talk about the unified platform and show that we have intercoms, we got doors, got cameras, doors, cameras attached to doors. So everything from one single space, from one single application. We also have a video analytics. You can add the license plate recognition cameras. So here, my license plate recognition cameras, they're running. You can monitor them, and you can see the reads, the plate reads directly on the screen. Intrusion panels. It's a unified platform, so basically everything goes into one interface. Also, the open architecture of that Genetec tries to keep here. So you see here, I got only access cameras, but the system can take anything from over 100 manufacturers of cameras. Same for access control. This is an HID door. This is a Mercury door, access door. They're down now, but I will use a video to show you. And same for intercoms. We have a list of supported intercoms, but mainly any SIP device can be attached to Security Center. So let me just go and show you here. Let me just go back to my slides here. So let's do a unification demo here. So mainly I'm going to show you how we do that with the just how everything works together. So in this demo, I'm going to be showing you how you can basically do everything from one single screen, which is SecuriDesk, So on the video, we're going to see that I'm going to monitor everything on tile number 2. So tile number 2 is gray now. It's empty. So I emptied it. Usually, I would monitor everything on that tile. So every time I have a door alarm or access granted, for example, on a door, you're going to see the feed from the camera facing that door. So if it happens on this door here, lab door number 1, you're going to see the feed coming from this camera. If anything happens on this door, you're going to see the feed from this camera. So it's unified. It works automatically. Nothing to do but just monitor the entity, monitor the door. So let's show you how that works. Here. So I'm gonna take a card holder, and as I swipe it across the HID door, here you're gonna see directly the card holder picture and the access granted deny event and the feed from the camera here. So if that same card holder goes to another door, in that case it's gonna go to the Mercury door, and then swipe again, you see the event and the card holder picture, and it's all access granted, everything's good. And so this is the best way to see how the unification works. But there are so many ways. We kept everything here. So if you want to see the classical way, which shows you like the list of alarms or list of events, you can just drag this down or keep it halfway, and then you can go and see those events directly. And those events are typically here. You can see another one. This card holder, you see it here. And you can also see it on the map down there if you notice that the card holder also shows on the map as well directly. So you choose the way that you want to monitor the system via maps, via tiles with the feeds, or the list of alarms. And those those alarms here are interactive. So if you right click on them, you want to see if that lab worker went through other doors or what they have their activities across other doors, you can go there directly from the events list. So next thing we're going to show is just waiting for it. So what happens if somebody like they lost their card or they don't have their card? So typically they would show up, and since it's unified, they can use the intercom. So if that card holder there, if that card is lost and that card holder comes to the door, they can use the intercom. So this intercom is also connected. So if they press the button, it's going to ring directly on a screen. And you can see the feed from the camera, security camera facing the door, or you can also see if the intercom has a camera, which is the case here, you're going to see also the feed from the intercom camera as well. I move it to the other tile to be able to see the alarms on tile number 2. So next thing I'm going to see here, just to verify the person at the door, if it's them. So I can look at their face, and then I can go to the card holder management. So the card holder management ready for me here to go and check, search for the names and verify their pictures, their photos. So here, just search for lab and check lab worker, and then that's them. Just verify if it's them really, and then you can unlock the door. So you can unlock the door directly from the screen. So here you can see that unlock the door down there, and you can press it, and there you go, door manually unlocked. You got the alarm and the feed to show you that the person has entered. And the next thing, that person is going to go to your desk, and then you can give them a new card. So that's how things are streamlined from one application. So I'm gonna set this card to lost, and then I can save it. And just to before we do that, just to verify that it was set to lost. So there you go, set to lost. And then if somebody finds that card and try to get in with that card, here's what happens. You're gonna get lost credential, and you instantly see the feed from it, and you'll be able to actually react to what's happening directly. You can even export the video, or simply just you can also attach an action to that, like send an email to notify somebody that there was an access denied, or you can trigger other actions on the system. Okay, so that was the unification example. Let me go to back to the cardholder management since we hit on it. So the cardholder management here is, this is where you can add the cardholders and you can change their settings. Basically very graphical here. You can add the photos from a file, from a webcam, from a camera, from clipboard, and you can set many credentials to them. So there's not just one credential, but you can add many credentials, including mobile credentials, license plate camera, license plate as credentials. So in that case, there will be like a license plate camera at the gate, and then if it reads the plate and that value is the same as the credential, then the gate's going to open automatically here. And you can assign them to cardholder groups directly from here, and you can add as many as you want custom fields. So custom fields, you want to put your own information, your company information, and information from company to another company. They're different, so you have your own freedom to add any custom fields. There are also some other under advanced here, other settings, and one of them, which is most interesting, is security clearance. Here you see it here by default is 7. You can have up to 8 levels from 0 to 7. So 0 being the highest, 7 is the lowest. By default, everybody's given the level of 7. And this is going to be used in a lockdown situation. So in a lockdown situation, the system can automatically raise that acceptable security clearance at each door to a certain level. For example, you want to set it to 1. In that case, nobody with a clearance level of 7 will be able to get in. Only the people with cardholders with levels 1 and 0 can get in. If you raise it to 0, then only the ones with 0 will be able to get in. And that's how you achieve lockdown, and we're going to see that after. So this is the cardholder management. You can do it from here, and yep. Let me show you how a lockdown scenario works, for example. So for that, let me show you what we got our lab workers. So only this lab worker here, number 1. Lab worker number 1 has a clearance level of 1. And the rest, they have a clearance level of 7, like this one here. Everybody have a clearance level of 7. So what I'm going to do with this clearance level, I'm going to use the what we call threat levels. So threat levels allow me to automate multiple actions together. So whenever a panic button is pressed, for example, which is the case here, which is the example I'm going to do, I'm going to raise the clearance level to 1, and in that case, only a cardholder of the same level of this person here can get in. Everybody else would be denied. I can also automate other things. I can automate loading of cameras, logging out users, start recording at high resolution on the cameras, send email notifications to anyone. It's really a whole lot of things here. So let me show you how this works here. So if we go and show you the example. Here we go. So I'm going to press the panic button there. See it? That's my panic button. And then everything turns red to tell me that it's went into a threat level situation. And then it loaded the same camera 4 times, which is what I programmed it to do. But usually you would use, you would load cameras of interest, maybe entrance and exit. And now I'm going to show you how everybody would be denied. So this person can get in because it has a clearance level of 1. But everybody else will be denied, even though I did not change their access. They're still on a system, part of the system. So that's another one here. And you see here, I'm getting email notifications every time I get access denied. And I can turn it off to none, and then everything goes back to normal. And then now if I try with that same guy, now they're able to get in. So lockdown is over. And that's how it works. With that small setting there under the clearance level, we can just do a whole lockdown scenario. All right, so let's move to some new things that we've done in 5.9. And since we're in the cardholder management, so cardholder management, you see here we talked about the custom fields. So custom fields here, I have this title and employee number, but you could add your own custom fields. And one of the things that we didn't have before 5.9 is the fact that the web client, which I'm going to log on to it, HTTPS Oxley Secure Center. So that's my web client here. Just give it a second. Come on. I'm on VPN, so usually it takes time here. So that's my web client. And then you can do access configuration. So you can actually do cardholder management here. So it's loading the cardholders. And let's take this cardholder. And as you will see here, when it opens, here you can see employee number and title. So these are two custom fields that we added to the cardholder properties. And before that, before 5.9, we didn't have access to those custom fields from the web client, but now we have them. Let me go here, and yep. So that's one thing here. The other thing that we added, I'm just trying to follow the flow here. Yep. So since we're on web client, let me show you the two more things that we've done. One actually in 5.9. No, actually these two are in 5.9.1, latest feature. So part of let me go back here to monitoring. Just give it a second to load. And let me get one of my doors here. So let's take this door. So as you can see here, we have now a new thing for the doors. So we had the override unlock schedule before available on the web client, but we didn't have the reader shunt, which allows you to basically disable the reader for a while. And this is available in the desktop application. So if you take a door and you hover it, you can see here. Let me just take it a little bit closer. So here you have the unlock door, you have the override schedule, and you have the shunting of reader. So you can make it active or inactive. So basically, we added this in 5.9.1 here, and you can, of course, the door has to be online. So that's now I cannot do it from here. So that's one thing that we added. The other thing that we added in 5.9.1 as well is that the web client is now WCAG compliant. So we can. This was a request for people with limited mobility here, so they would like to use the web client more. And then the thing that we added is now you can navigate the whole thing here using the tabs. Let me show you how that works real quick. So I'm going to take a PTZ instead of this. Let me take one of the PTZs just to show you an example. So if I go and take my PTZ here, this is a PTZ. So now you can see here that if I press tab, I'm now, this is my mouse here. Let me just pivot it to the left, to the right side. And I'm navigating here using the tab. So I'm on a tile now. Every time you press tab, it's going to go somewhere. So I can even start recording here. So now at recording, Shift tab takes me back to Shift here, and tab takes me forward. So if I press enter here, it's now recording. There you go, it started recording. And then if I want to, again, here, do more tab or Shift tab and stop recording, I'll just hit enter. Now it should stop recording, as you can see here. So I'm now navigating from just the keyboard. I can even just move the PTZ around. So if I do this and then enter, and then I can, there you go. Let me go a shift tab here. You can see that I can just actually, by pressing tabs here, I can move the PTZ to one from one preset to another, like this one, or there you go, or tab again, and then 2, or actually navigate around with the keyboard. So this allows you to use the web client mainly using the keyboard without having to deal with the mouse. These are the main things that here. Let's move on to some more stuff here. So let's go and find some videos here. So for the videos, let me just keep that running here in the background. And I'm going to go back to Security Desk. And let's go and find videos here. So you're mainly recording the videos to be able to find them when you want them. And then I'm going to show you how you can just streamline the operation, find all the videos using just 4 buttons here that are available to you. Let me just take this away. So here, if I, for example, so you got the timeline, which allows you always to go back in time directly like that, maybe for a few minutes, for a few hours. You can simply just put the cursor back like that, and then go and find go to the moment that you want. The other thing is we have these 4 buttons here that allows you really to streamline operations. So this one allows you to go to specific date, and that allows me to just select the date. So this is May 2020. I can go back to the 4th of May, and then to 10 a.m. In 2 clicks, you're able to go there. But if you don't know the time, for example, let's go back to live. And there's this car here. If I want to get to the moment when this car arrived, I can do quick search. So quick search, just 1 click here, and then circle the car or the object that you want to check when it was there, when it was lost, or when it was disappeared or something. You can do that. Just hit start. That's going to allow you to find screenshots from various hours, and then you can go back and locate the moment when that car wasn't there, and then all of a sudden it's there. So here in 3 clicks, I was able to go down to the minute level, basically knowing that this car arrived between 7:13 and 7:16. Like I can go down with another click here precisely to 7:14 here. And if I click play, that's going to take me to that moment when that car arrived. And then the other one next to it here, it's going to allow you to, if you're following an object from one camera to another, it's called visual tracking. So you want to go from one screen, from one camera to another, that's going to allow you to do that. So for example, if I'm going to wait for that person to get out of the car, let's make it faster here. And then I can enable visual tracking. And that's going to open 2 buttons for me, one for the first floor and one for the second floor. And we're going to be able to, there you go, going to the second floor, so I can press that button and then be able to see that person as they go to the other camera. And there you go. That's how you can really track people. And if you want to really, if these 2 video sequences are so important to you, you can actually, that person is having trouble getting in. There you go. So if you want to record that video like this, this thing here, what you could do is simply just go back here, and then another back a little bit, just there you go. And then you can start recording the tile, right click on the tile, recording the incident. So now I'm recording everything here. So that's the first video I wanted. And the second video is going to be when I hit visual tracking. And those buttons and those layers, they're not going to be part of the video, by the way. It's just, you're going to see the video, right? These are just for you to see. But when you export the video, they're not going to be part of it. So now if this is the video I want, I just simply hit start recording or stop recording the incident here. And that's going to stop the recording. And I have my two videos back to back here. I can export them, or I can simply just load an incident and then keep it there, and somebody can come back and then review it, probably log it under a false alarm or under intrusion or something here. And somebody can check the incident alarm, the incident report, and then be able to view that and then put their comments on it. Let me basically here. So we did not hit the fourth button here. So the fourth button is about exporting. So if you can just export the video, export the video from Altice or from here. So you can do this, and then in that case, you're gonna get a screen showing you here. Maybe you want to rename that file here, call it incident, and then specify the hour, the time you want to make it, maybe just 1 minute or something of it. You could choose the format that you want to export with, and then you hit export. The other way of doing exporting video is to send it to Clearance. So Clearance is our hosted evidence management platform. So directly from the camera, you can hit send to Clearance, and then when you hit send to Clearance, you're going to have the choice to create a new case or load the video into an existing case, and that's going to save you a lot of work and of cost, and it's the most secure way to share evidence because it's not going to be handed by mail or something. It's going to go in encrypted communication to the cloud, and it's going to be there. And then the people who need to see it or maybe review it and maybe edit it or add their own evidence can be sent an email invite, and from the email they can log in. You can give them the rights to do to just view or maybe to just monitor to edit or maybe own the whole case. So this is just a little bit here, and let's show a few things that we've done in 5.9. So let me go back to monitoring here, and let me take this video here, and I'm going to basically export a few minutes of it here. Let's do export video. Let's do just 1 minute of that video. I'm gonna call it here testing 1.1, and I can hit export. So that's gonna go to the Vault, and the Vault is a default folder that all my exports, my snapshots that I take, everything goes to it. So if I open the Vault here, I missed it, so I'm gonna go to the Vault and open it. So you see here, this is the video testing 11. And what we changed in 5.9 is we added that the digital signature. And it used to be called the watermarking, but now it's called digital signature. And we actually changed the way we, the hashing algorithm behind that, the digital signature that we add to every frame, to every video frame. And now it's called digital signature. So if you wanna just check if that video is really authentic, you can just simply hit verify, and that's going to be verified here. So that's the something that we changed in 5.9. And then the other thing that we've done in 5.9.1 recently is that you can now, under video, you can set an automatic cleanup for the Vault. So the videos in the Vault, they get stacked there, and you can forget just how many videos are there. And you need to manage them manually after a while, just delete stuff maybe that you don't want. So we now add a cleanup for it. So you can define up to 999 days, I think. Yeah, there you go, 999 days, that's the max. So you can set up to 1,000 days to keep the videos there, and they will be deleted automatically after. And that's one thing that we added in 5.9.1. And the other thing here, so yeah, digital signatures. And what happened to the watermarking? So we used to have the watermarking, which was the digital signatures, but now what happened to it? It's now part of the way that we do not allow people to leak videos, to export videos and share them with with the publicly in a not legal way, in an illegal way. So we now part of the user management here. Part of the user management, you can, let me check here, user one. So on user one here, I can enable the watermarking. So you can see it here. So enable video watermarking. So you can enable video watermarking for groups of people or for user or for just individuals. And then you can configure that and to include the video. So there will be like an overlay of information on the video, so that you know where it came from. So in that case, you can add the workstation name, maybe just the username or the camera name, and you can just put just one single instance of it or a mosaic of it. Could be horizontal, could be diagonal, and you can change the opacity here to make it more persistent, or the size. So you can do smaller or bigger size like that. And then when you hit save, so that's going to show the camera name. And then when that user one logs in to their computer, here's what they will see. So that's user one loading here. You see here, the user one is limited. So from all the things that I was able to see as an admin, this guy can see just but a few things here, like few cameras and nothing else. And if I drag, let me drag this camera instead here. So you would see the watermarking. So there you go. You can see the camera name all over the screen here. And so if they try to export that video, that watermarking is going to go with it. The other thing that we added also in 591 is a permission, basically, to allow users to export the video without asking for permission. So for example, this guy here, user one, needs permission to be able to export video. So if they hit export, and then maybe try to just do here 1, 2, 3, the file name, description, let's call it here car accident or something. And then if you hit export, that's going to ask them to perform this operation. You require authorization from another user. So in that case, if the supervisor of that person does not put their credentials in here, they won't be able to. So this is double protection they have. So they have the watermarking, and they have the you could use it either or both would be like too much. But there you go. If I hit OK, now I'll be able to export. But without it, they will be actually denied from being able to export the video. Okay, let me just go here. And yep. So this is that we added in 5, the single, it's called the single user export privilege. So if you want to find it here, it's part of the user management again. So you can go to privileges and then just search for single. And you see here, single user export is denied for that person. By default, it's actually allowed to everybody. But if you just hit deny, usually it's always denied by default. If you're creating a new user, it's going to be denied by default. So you want to allow it to make it work. And let me show you also, since we're talking about finding videos and exporting videos, let me log back with the admin user. It's something that we changed on the archives report. So the archives report is it's a report to run to allow you to find videos. It's not the go to specific date or the quick search. It's a report. So the quick search here, if you click here, just give it a second. If you click here, come on. So this quick search is, you do it from the monitoring task, also the specific date and stuff like that. But if you want to run a report, you can run the archives report, which is one of the classical reports we have here. So this report allows you to just pick any camera. Let's say this one here. And then you can search by available recordings, maybe for the past 2 days, let's say, or let's say 1 day. So on this camera for the 1 day, you can hit Generate Report. Usually this is going to give you like a thumbnail and the whole time. So it's giving you from 2:35 to 2:35, from 2:35 yesterday to 2:35 today, and then you can drag it and then view the video based on what you want. Like maybe you just move the cursor to where you want to go and then go. So what we did in 5.9 here is that this was like a kind of preview of the recording that you have and then the motion that you have on it. And now it's really changed to add like more a scale on it. And so you can, when you hover the mouse, you know exactly the time. So you can go and find the time. You can go directly. This was just like an image in the past that it's not interactive, but now it's more interactive. So you know, it shows you exactly. So at 6 p.m., May 12, 6 p.m., May 12, 12 a.m. And if you put the mouse here, you can simply just know that there was maybe no motion at that time, right? Whereas here, you know that there is motion. So this isn't changed in 5.9.1. It's very useful if you have like multiple cameras and you want to see like what was happening there. You can just select them all here, and then you run that report, and you're going to see here when you run the report, you can compare. So what was happening on all the cameras and all that stuff. It's going to take some time here because there's so many cameras. So now you can compare, for example, some cameras are like really doing nothing, like this camera is not recording when you know exactly when it was recording. All right, so let's go back to some reports here. So this was like the video reports, but let's do some access control reports, like card holder activities report. So the card holder activities report allows you to check for what the card holders have been doing. So let's do, for example, lab workers, the whole lab worker team, and their activities at any door or at a certain door, for example, or for any credential that they have. But let's do in that case for the past 2 months and all events. But we can query for certain events like access denied only or something. So that's how you do the reports. It's the same as the, as you can see, the same as the archives report. It's one interface. So even though we switched to access control, but we're doing it's the same look and feel. So if you just drag any of these events here, you're going to be able to see the video attached to it when that person was trying to get in. You see the video, and then again you see here the consistency, because you can do go to a specific date. You can do a quick search. You can do visual tracking from here. So when you do visual tracking, you're gonna go and maybe just track people as they were going to the building after that event or during that event. And the other thing that we have in those reports is that we have the charts report attached to them. So with one click, you see the charts report. This is 5.7. And then the charts reports allow you to see all the data in charts form. You can change by, for example, events here, but you can do, for example, by first name. And then that's going to show you here the lab, because it's one user. But if you could do other things here, so you can with 1 or 2 clicks, you can tailor that report to what you want, and get an insight with those charts of what data is there. And these reports can be exported in XML, in Excel, PDF, or CSV. It could be emailed on regular basis, like every Monday or the first of the month, and it could also push to the dashboard. So with one click here, you send it to the dashboard, where you can see, where you'll be able to see it here, like see these are more reports, door activities, for example, and then you can see them refreshing over time for you. Let's do here. Okay. So one thing that we've done here in 5.9 is that there was this the cardholder configuration report and the credential configuration report. So this allows you to query cardholders by information. So by name, by by email address, by picture, by any custom fields here. And then the expiration date is was always during the last days or specific range, but we didn't have if you want to see who's going to expire in the next week or the next day. So that's something that we added in 5.9. So there you go. You got it during the next day or the next month. You're going to be able to see which cardholder can expire or which credential is going to expire over a certain period of time. So that's something that we did in 5.9. And yep. So part of that reports here, as you can see. Let's switch to rows or columns here, and let's make it here by events. So the thing that it's a small thing that we've done here. So before that's the before 5.9, that's how you used to see it. So you know it's roughly here 12 or 13 events or something, and here you don't know, it's roughly 8. So we added this show grid to allow you to see exactly what values in there, and you can also check values, and that's going to show you 12, 8, and 4, and you don't have to guess anymore. So this is a small change, but it's very, very useful if you want to use those charts reports. Okay, so yeah, pushing reports to the dashboard and the dashboards. Yeah, the dashboards, I talked really a little bit about it, but let me just here. So just to show you how you can really work with it, you can edit the dashboard and then you can just simply select add a new image, just drag it here, and you can define the size of that image. And there you go. And you have to select the image, of course. You can take it from any file. And you can set the background to be a certain color, and there you go. And there you go. When you hit done, it's going to be there. If you want to take it back, just hit close. So the dashboard allows you to see mainly the charts which are going to refresh. So if you take this dashboard here, you see here it's going to refresh every minute. A store activities report that refreshes every minute, but you can make this refresh every hour or more. And that's the beauty of it. In 5.9 also, we added something to it here. It's called the live monitoring here. So the monitoring now allows you to actually see alarms and access control events as they happen. It's not the report that's going to refresh. It's just whenever somebody swipes their card, you're going to see them directly here. And you can choose if you want to monitor events. It's going to be access control events or maybe camera event, maybe like a camera down or motion detected or something, or alarms. And you can either choose to allow the toggle. So if you hit this, you're going to be able to toggle from here, from inside the dashboard. So that's one thing that we also added in 5.9 here. And let me go back to my list here. And let's talk about some other good features that we added in 5.9.1, which are the latest one, and the password update, which is a great feature here. So you'll be able to actually change the password on one camera or multiple cameras using event to action, using a schedule task. So you want to maybe schedule a change of passwords on all the cameras every month. You can do that. You can just schedule that, or you can just do an event to action and then you can enable that. Let me show you how that works here. And the best way to really work with it is on the hardware inventory report. So we have this hardware inventory report. So if we open up hardware inventory report here, you will see, let's do video units. And let's select them all and then generate a report. So you see here, we got the, sorry. You got now, where is it? There you go. So you got the password and the password strength and when it was last updated. And if you hover the mouse over very weak, for example, here, you see here the password, you can view it. Whereas this one is very strong, you can see it here. So if you want to change the password on this guy here, simply just hit here, or you can select multiple ones. So this camera doesn't support it. So we did support Access, Bosch, Hanwha. The list is on the release notes. Let's take this one here, and you see here, update the password. You can hit update, and then that's going to update the password. You can see here the camera is going to go down for a sec. And then after that, it's going to refresh the password. It's going to give you a password that is strong. And then if you want to export that list, did I click hit here? Let me run the general report to see. So this is the second one here, which was the P1354. Let's do the report again. So the P1354, and go to the password. You see here, it should say now. Wait a second. Oh, it didn't change. Let me try it again. Update the password. There we go. Password update request sent successfully. So now the camera is going to go down briefly. You can see it here because it's changing the password. So it's actually pushing the password to the camera, which is something that we did not support before. So when I see the camera is going down, and there we go, it went up. And now it tells me here by email that the camera is down because I programmed it to tell me that. And if I go here to the config tool and refresh that report again, and you're going to see that camera now has a strong password. There you go. It's very strong now. And you see here the password is really strong. It's something that, so it's really changing the passwords for you. And you can, what you could do is you can export the passwords. So if you want to keep a log of it, you can just simply export it, and it's going to go. Let me do that here. Destination. Let me put it under downloads. Let me call it here. Passwords. And then you can save. And then you can password protect the file if you want. And just user password. That's going to be my password. Oh, it needs a password. 1, 2, 3. Export. So there you go. You can go and get it from the downloads. There you go. There's one here. You can do open with 7-zip, extract files, and yep, to here, and then the password 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we're gonna go find it. There we go. Passwords 1, 2, 3. And if you open that file here, that's gonna show you all the passwords. You see here, these are the passwords of the units and all that stuff, and you can keep track of them. So mainly that was a good feature that we didn't have before. Let's do we added something else also to the privileged troubleshooter. So remember that privileged troubleshooter, it used to be a feature that we added in 5.8, if I remember well. So this allows you to see all the privileges and all the access of the users and the user groups over time. So probably after 2 years, you don't know who can export on a system, or who still can export on a system, or who can still view some certain cameras, or remove cameras, or add cameras. So you want to do that, you can with that, you can maybe, for example, hit check here the privilege. Maybe you want to check who can export. So hit export here. So export video. And then that's going to give you the list of people who can, and then the groups who can export on the system. So that was like just a view before. Then 5.9.1, we can export now. So you can hit export, and that's going to go report. And you're going to see who actually. So this, instead of having a list here, you can just go under export. And now it's going under my downloads again. Here, you can open it directly from here. Just click. And that's going to open, and that's going to show you a list, like a report, an Excel sheet of all the people who can export on a system. So that's a new in 5.9.1. And let's see here. And these are very important features. So the HID have moved their mobile credential to the new platform, to the subscription platform called Origo, and that has actually rendered the old interface unusable. So now, for the access control part, we got back this the fact that you can actually add those credentials from inside the system. So now you got here mobile credential profile, so you can hit plus, and then you got the HID either legacy or Origo, which is the new one. So we got this back to the access control config tool, so you can do it from inside our software. No need to do it from the HID side. It's still limited though, but it's going to change over time, and it's going to be complete by, I would say, the next release. Let's check more here. Yep, we added some 2 good things to the health monitoring. So let's go to the health monitoring. So health monitor, health history. So part of the health history now, we can see the current health events. So this wasn't before. And for example, if you run that report, you usually see like old events and newer events, and you wouldn't know which one is really still like active and stuff like that. So this is going to give you basically everything that is still active. So if you do here, what has been active since the past 2 days, and run a report, that's going to give you the active, the current health events. And the other thing which we added to the health statistics report. So if you run the health statistics report, we now have a new column here called last error timestamp. So that wasn't there. So we know the uptime, you know the availability, you know the unexpected downtime and stuff like that, but we don't know when was the last error on that device, and that's new here. So if you run it here, you're gonna see the last error timestamp on every device. Just give it to run here while I check here. So yeah, last error timestamp. And let's do here some, let's check some improvements that we've done on the graphical map side. So part of the new, there you go, that report here. So if you go on the maps, let's do the map designer. So let's take one of the maps here, browse all the maps. Let me take this geographical one. If I open it, so I got my doors here. Let's give it a second. See here the reader. So you can now put the reader on the map. So if you take this this door here, or this other door, if you want to add more doors, or if you want to just on the entity here, if you expand any of the doors, like this door, for example, you see here there's the in and the out reader that you could drag to the map, and then of course it has to be next to the door, or you can just not put the door there, but usually you would have the door because you need those events from the door. The reader is just to, the only usefulness of that reader, from what I see here, is that you can now simply shunt it, just disable it from the map. So if you go on the map here and then just go full here, so you see here there's this button chose green, which means that it's not in shunt mode, and if you click on it or right click on it, investigate, no, you simply reader in shunt, you can shunt it directly from here, and now it goes red and shunt and get it active back. So this is a change on the map side. The other thing that we've done on the maps were the floor view. So if you go on the map and there's floors, and the system detected that I have a ground floor, second floor, and third floor. So you can maybe just link them together like that, and then maybe just call this GF instead. It's going to suggest some names to you. This is second, and this is third. And you may want to shuffle their order. So when you do that, next time you load any of those maps through here, and let me load my maps here. Let me do the first ground floor. So one on ground floor here, let me take it. Did I save? No, I don't think I saved here. I have to save just to make sure. Floors, yeah, they're saved now. So if you load the map here, you see it's changed now. So you can actually jump from ground floor to, let me take it here, sorry. So you can go to the second floor and to the third floor. You can jump so you work on the second floor, but you want to jump from one floor to another. You don't have to link them. You can still link them, but you can simply just navigate from one to another using this guy here. And yeah, so what we've done also on the maps, and it's part of the alarms, is that we used to, for example, if you take this map here, and if you just zoom out, you see here, we used to show just how many entities are there because it's now too small to show all the cameras and doors. But now also we show the alarms, the active alarms. So it shares the one alarm. So that wasn't before. If you had alarm active on the maps, you wouldn't see them if you zoom out. But if the default view is zoomed out and you want to get notified of the alarms, you wouldn't see that without this. And now you can see it here. You know that there's an active alarm and you can just zoom in and go deal with it. Still have 5 minutes left here, so let me check what we can show you from this. The rest are things that we really did on the alarm side. So we changed a lot of things in 5.9.0 on the alarms, and we added just one single thing in the in 5.9.1, which is to set the alarm to maintenance mode. So let me show you that here. So if you go to the alarms, sorry, part of the config tool, if you hit the alarms, do not save. So you can set any alarm to maintenance mode. So you see, you right click and then go to maintenance and then maintenance mode and then turn on. And that alarm is going to go amber, as you can see here, save. So what this is going to do is that you can still trigger the alarm if you want to test something. So if you hit trigger alarm, that's going to bring it here. So it's still active if you want to trigger it manually. But if you have programmed the system to trigger the alarm based on an action, based on an event, then that's not going to happen during the maintenance. For example, I have an event to action to basically trigger that alarm every time I got a I add a bookmark here. So I'm going to add a bookmark bus, and you see here we're still at 2 alarms. Nothing changed. But if I remove the maintenance, let's take it back, maintenance mode, and then turn it off, save. So alarm is back. If I go back here and I hit another bookmark, let's do it from here, blah, 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 and then okay. And now see here, trigger the alarm. So the alarm used to every time trigger whenever there's a bookmark, but now since I'm in maintenance mode, I'm maybe trying something, adding new configuration, so I don't want those alarms to come in. I just put it to maintenance mode and it's gonna stop unless I press it manually. We also did this for the, in 5.9.1 as well, we did this for the, we did a change for the maintenance mode for the doors. So if you go on area view here, in the config tool, so you can now multiple select doors and apply the maintenance mode to them. So if you select all the doors here, you can right click and then send them to maintenance. So now they're going to be unlocked for maintenance, all of them. So that was a long time requested feature, and now we added it here. And you can just remove maintenance mode. So you can group multiple doors and then send them to maintenance mode, and they're going to be unlocked during that time, and then there will be no events coming out of them. And the other things that we also added in were mainly alarm related. The most visible one would be to see them on the dashboard. So the dashboard allows you to see just a counter of alarms. So now I have 3 alarms pending, and if I trigger more, you're gonna see that here alarms. If I trigger more alarms like this guy here, if I trigger 2 more, 4, you see here the color changed. So this is because I programmed the system to simply here, if I added the dashboard, alarm count, or just click on that guy, and that's gonna, see here you can change the color of the alarm counter to change as the alarm number goes up. This mainly covers the majority of the things that we've done in 5.9. The other thing is we also added the reverse number, so the reversing of the tiles in the alarm monitoring task. which I can show you, which would be the last thing here. The rest is I was going to show you like a mobile app, the mobile app preview, but that's going to take around 10 minutes or so. So we're going to have to skip that. But this is not in 5.9. Basically, this was in 5.8, and we've demoed this many times before. But feel free to reach out to us if you want to have a demo for the mobile app. It's really very sophisticated by now. So the last thing that I was going to show you is the alarm monitoring, which also we changed in 5.9. So when you do the alarm monitoring, by default, here, you're going to see here, this alarm instance is 208. So that's basically the oldest one. So now we have the oldest one showing here to the left. Typically, if you want to see the most recent or the oldest, you can toggle this now. By default, it used to show you the latest one. So if somebody wants to see the oldest one, which is the case now, they had a problem. They're going to do that. And you're going to have to really change the tile pattern, probably to 12, and then go down, and then just to go and see the last one here. And now you can do this with a single toggle here. So you go down the options under the alarms. You can simply just change the order by saving this. And now this one here, this instance is showing the latest one, which is the 211, which is this one here, which is the last one we triggered. So I'm going to stop at this point. I hope you have found this demo informative to you. And if you have any questions or anything that you would like to know more, please feel free to reach out to us either at channelsales@genentech.com or at salesengineering@genentech.com, and we'll be happy to help you. Stay safe. Thank you.